Welcome to Two Useless Organisms, a show where two useless organisms discuss a variety of topics as it pertains to their meaningless existence. Today's show, we will discuss our favorite homemade meals and theme park bucket list items. Keep in mind that Two Useless Organisms is not safe for work, so we might say naughty words or something. Tommy, what's going on?
Fuck. What's going on? I woke up too early today, so I'm gonna be tired. So that's gonna be crushed it.
And that wraps it up for Two Useless Organisms. See you next week. No, I slept in today and took a nap, so I really am wide awake. But
we were just having like an entire conversation before we recorded this about how we were doing, and then you asked me how I'm doing, and I was like, oh fuck, how am I doing?
You gave me a different answer when we started recording.
Before I was talking about how I have a girlfriend now. It's so weird. I'm kind of scared.
So,
let's talk the thing.
Let's chit chat.
Yeah.
It's episode 2, baby. Episode 2 of Two Useless Organisms.
Two the most useless organisms.
Tommy, I want to run a thought past you. When we abbreviate Two Useless Organisms, it's 2UO, right? 2UO. Yeah. Should we just call it 2O?
2O.
Like as a nickname?
2O.
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 2O. Welcome to 2O. You know, it's grown on me. I like it.
It's just a nickname. We don't have to.
2O.
2O.
Got the 2 O's.
2O. 2O Lipo.
Because like if you because you can like abbreviate it either the number 2UO or the letter TOU, and that would be pronounced. Oh wait, that would be to. Fuck.
No, it's still 2O. It's
2O. Yes. Two. Yeah. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Tommy needs a nap today.
I really should have, but you know, it's a part of the creative process.
I've always felt that your brain works different when you're in a severe state of exhaustion. I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. One time I was driving home when I lived in Illinois, or as our old host Eric would say, Indiana.
Idaho.
And I was driving from Iowa, which I guess is the same as Illinois and Indiana and Idaho. But and it was about a 5 or 6 hour drive, and I've never done hallucinogens or drugs or anything. I saw a house grow legs and walk across the street in front of me when I was driving. I was just really tired.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Were you like dreaming behind the wheel?
I might have been dead asleep. I don't know. But
yeah, that's coconuts.
That's banana bonkers.
Yeah.
Anywho, episode.
Grow legs and walk across the street.
Well, why did Tommy cross the street? He didn't, because he doesn't have legs.
He had no legs.
For all of our listeners and viewers, even though you can't see our legs, we both have 2 legs, 4 legs between the both of us.
Oh wow.
Tommy kind of has 5, but we can't talk about that on the podcast. We can't show it anyway.
Don't use it. That was a joke. You're trying to say that I have a big penis,
a tail,
which is funny because I have a really small dick.
Nothing but the best humor here on Two Useless Organisms.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough chit chat. Let's get to the topics. I got the first topic today, Thomas, and mine is my favorite homemade food. And you inspired me to pick this topic because you pretty much only eat homemade food. We've talked about fast food, but I feel like you're just in the kitchen every day making some spicy dishes. Is that right?
Yeah. I have been slacking a little bit recently, but I did make a shepherd's pie last week that came out really good. I found like some recipe online. You can like ground beef is probably the easiest meat to find, but if you can get ground lamb, definitely go with ground lamb because ground lamb is fucking delicious.
Ground lamb.
I've also used ground lamb to make what have I used it for? I've made two different meatball dishes. One was like an Alfredo type of sauce with it. Then the other was like a traditional red Italian sauce and meatballs. That one I used the ground lamb and the beef and like made like a and like those were really good. Red sauce is probably like my favorite sauce to make because it takes at least like I like to let it simmer minimum 4 hours to like let all the flavors mix them together, and then it's always better the next day since they all had the time to marinate. Um, yeah.
Tommy, that is an art form to be able to. Yeah, I can't see. Here's going to be the difference between our lists. All of my items are things that other people have made, and yours is going to be probably all stuff you make because you're a master chef.
Well, I probably will also talk about things that my mom makes because nothing's better than mom homemade meals.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those meals are actually meals I can make now. But I was gonna say I want to hear your homemade meals because I've said words.
I first want to proceed this with one of my items was cooked by my mother, and I want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that right now Eric is not making some comment about my mom. Because
you know what, we should make comments about his mom while he's in here being
great
a fucking
idea.
idiot. Look at me, I'm Eric, and I'm being a good father with my kids right now. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's such
wait,
a dick.
we want to talk about his mom. Shit.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway.
Anyway.
My first item is actually not cooked by my mother. It's cooked by my girlfriend, Allison. She makes the best tomato soup ever. Tomato soup might be an easy thing to make. I have no idea. I don't know shit about shit when it comes to food.
I've never done it.
Holy Lord, when she makes it, she has every spice you've ever heard of sitting out on the counter, and is just pouring it all in there. And it's got little chunks of tomato, which usually I don't like, but in this case, it's super good, super spicy. It is the best thing ever.
Nice.
To make it even better, she usually makes a grilled cheese with sourdough.
I was when you first started talking about tomato soup, I was going to ask, do y'all dip grilled cheese in it?
Absolutely.
So, good.
Get that in it. And then what we did once was we put white cheddar Cheez-Its in it with that. So tell me your taste buds aren't sweating right now.
My saliva is juicing right now.
Yes, you have a juicy tongue.
Yeah, I do.
Give Gene Simmons a run for his money with that tongue. The other thing is my mom's chicken noodle soup. She does this thing, and I don't know anything about food, so I don't know how to explain it, but she makes everything, all the noodles with like a dough, and then cuts them, lets them sit. They're super thick noodles, super thick nudes.
That is awesome.
So that's really good. And then obviously she puts like chicken in it, chicken noodle soup, and then she makes a really good beef stew. And like you were saying about letting it marinate in juice and just soak. She lets that stuff soak in a crock pot for like 6 months, and then it's just delicious.
6 months.
Yeah. But I mean, that's for homemade food, because 99% of my meals come from the microwave or the oven, like frozen meals or Taco Bell. That's all I got. What do you got?
Yeah. God, I love Taco Bell. Let's see, other homemade meals that my mom makes that I always love. For Thanksgiving, my mom's stuffing. Like, it's incredible, like her turkey stuffing. I feel like every other stuffing I ever have had just is fucking garbage compared to my mom's stuffing. And like, I've had good stuffing, but like my mom's is just so good. And I think it was actually a recipe from my grandma on my dad's side. I actually made it with my mom the last time I was over in North Carolina, or not the last time, but in December. And I think it involved like crushing up mushrooms, and like there's like a mixture of like crushing up the mushrooms with like egg and Italian breadcrumbs and baking it in the turkey. It came out so fucking good. Oh, and I think there's some like Parmesan cheese in there. and seasonings and shit. It was incredible.
Is there anything that's not good with cheese on it?
Nothing. Everything is great with cheese.
It makes everything better.
Like cheese makes everything so fucking great.
There's no such thing as too much, dude. Put extra cheese on everything.
Speaking of cheese, I made once a homemade mac and cheese in a crock pot, and I poured the dry noodles in the crock pot. Like I didn't like pre-boil them or anything. I put the dry noodles in, poured in, I think it was half and half. I shredded a bunch of cheese, like I hand shredded some cheddar cheese, mozzarella, I want to say Colby Jack as well, and then like I also used some everything bagel seasoning in it, and just like it was dumb. Like it was so fucking stupid how good. Wait, did I have that with you? Because I'm pretty sure I brought that over to Eric's.
Yeah, I might have ingested that. Everything you've made has been delicious. You made a pasta once. I think it was the vodka.
My vodka sauce, yeah.
Yeah, that was really, 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 really.
Yeah, love doing a vodka sauce. I haven't done one in a while.
Do it again, my boy.
Do it again. One recipe that I need to learn how to make is seared gnocchi. If we're talking about pasta. So one of my favorite restaurants at Disney World, The Wave at the Contemporary, is closing next week. And I've been like 5 times in the last month just to get their seared gnocchi and then their bacon and eggs. And I'm very sad that place is going away. I have looked up a couple of seared gnocchi recipes. Hopefully they can kind of compare, or I can do something almost as good as that. So that might be my next thing. My roommate's girlfriend, I think that she made homemade gnocchi like for us a few weeks ago, and I think we still have some of the homemade gnocchi in our freezer right now. So if they haven't used that, might use the homemade gnocchi for it. Or, I mean, there's always ways to get some gnocchi. And then a lot of Italian recipes. I mean, I think the only 2 things I said in here that aren't Italian were the shepherd's pie I made and the turkey stuffing. But another one is chicken marsala. My mom's chicken marsala slaps. Anything with mushrooms. I'm a slut for mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mushrooms and cheese.
Mushrooms and cheese. I'm a cheese boy. I don't like mushrooms, but you cheesy. Take a bath in liquid cheese if I could.
Oh yeah.
All right, good stuff. I am hungry. I've eaten like 3 meals already today, and I'm about to eat a 4th after talking about that.
Yeah, I'm about to go. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell after this.
That's a good idea. I think we need to take a break for our sponsor.
We need to, yeah. And now a word from our sponsor. Hey, are you tired of getting bullied at school and everyone's always making fun of you like that, like an idiot like Tristan is? Well, you suck. That's the sponsor this week. You suck. Go fuck yourself.
And we're back. Tommy, I have a question.
What's up?
Who was that sponsor from?
I don't know. Random sponsors like to reach out to us. I think I meant to click one from Amazon. Like Jeff Bezos himself wanted to send us $1 million, but I think I accidentally signed the agreement for the one above it, and it ended up being that one. So I ended up having to read that one, and the Amazon one ended up expiring. So, I kind of fucked up. But
yeah, was that something was that just you talking?
No, that was, whenever we get our sponsors, they always send me a script to read, and that was the one they sent me. Maybe now that I think about it, that might have just been a hate mail, but that, yeah. Oh, man.
All right. Well, check out our sponsor, Tristan Sucks.
No, I think I don't think it was Tristan sucks. I think it was just everyone just sucks.
Tommy, in that whole thing, there was only one proper noun. There was no company name. There was no other name other than Tristan spoken in that whole thing. So I don't understand how that wasn't. You know what? Fuck you, Tommy. Talk about your stupid ass topic.
Oh god, what was my topic? I don't even remember.
It was theme park bucket
Theme
list.
park bucket list.
Dipshit.
So yeah. I don't. Oh god. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why I'm. Okay. So as we announced on our last week's show, we are going to do another podcast related to theme parks called "Please Remain Seated." And because literally theme parks are all I care about, I am going to include a theme park topic in this week's episode. And it's going to be theme park bucket list. So this can be either specific attractions we really want to go on in other places or other theme parks. I do have like an entire list of things that are on my theme park bucket list. One of them I've talked about in many Three Guys episodes, Cedar Point. And I actually finally booked a Cedar Point trip. Like I am confirmed going to Cedar Point next month. I will be, what's today? A month from tomorrow, on the day that we recorded this, I will be flying there. Probably a month from the day we upload this, I'll be riding roller coasters in Cedar Point. I'm very, very excited to finally knock that out, get some much needed coaster credits on my list. Like Steel Vengeance, I've been dying to ride since I heard about it. Ever since I was a kid, I've been wanting to go on Millennium Force, Maverick, and Top Thrill Dragster. Finally get to do those. And I got a few more here, but I want to see if Tristiano Ronaldo over here has any spicy theme park boys he wants to accomplish.
Yes, I do. First of all, when you're in Cedar Point, don't forget to check out beautiful Sandusky, Ohio. It's just,
oh yeah, I will.
Like all of Ohio, just a beautiful spot.
Oh yeah.
But my spots here, this is a pretty basic. I want to see all Disney parks worldwide. That's a basic one. I would like to see Knott's Berry Farm in California.
Yeah.
Because that by certain people's standards was considered the first theme park, in that it actually had like a Western town part of it. This was before Disneyland.
Wow.
In nearby Anaheim, but it had a Western like town thing in it, which kind of made it the first theme park, in that it had an area that was based off like a fictitious land. But I've also heard it's just a really cool spot. My third is the Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I've heard it's like just the most beautifully well-kept theme park. Beautiful, not by Ohio standards, but by like the rest of the world standards of the word beautiful. And that, I know that was one of the places Walt actually visited in preparation for Disneyland. He saw how well they kept it there, just how beautiful it was. And that was like an inspiration for Disneyland. So those are my three.
Your three. Out of those three that you mentioned, I did go to Knott's Berry Farm as a kid, but I was like 9 years old. I don't remember too much of it. And when at that age, I had not unlocked my coaster-ness yet. Like growing up, you know, I was always curious, but a little bit afraid, and I'm the only one in my family that likes roller coasters. So, but because I didn't discover that until a little bit later, and everyone in my family is scared, I just assumed all roller coasters were scary, so I didn't really do much. So I would love to go back to Knott's Berry Farm. There's like a small part of me that's debating on next summer getting like the Cedar Fair like Platinum Pass and just like going crazy and just go to every Cedar Fair park that I can. So like, you know, along with Cedar Point, go to maybe Kings Island, visit Carowinds, Knott's Berry Farm. I feel like there's like another one in California or something. It might just be Knott's Berry Farm though. There is Six Flags Magic Mountain, which has a bunch of roller coasters. One specific roller coaster at Magic Mountain's on my bucket list, X2, which is like an SNS free spin, like multi-dimensional coaster that just looks fucking insane. A couple months ago, I went to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and they had one of those free spin coasters, but it was like a flat layout. But X2 actually has like a full scale one. There's only one other roller coaster like that in the world, I think, and it's in Japan at Fuji-Q Highland, which that's a park that's on my bucket list because that park also has a roller coaster with the fastest acceleration in the world. I wrote the name of it somewhere. It's Dodonpa. I was literally going over with Tristan before this podcast started, but it goes to 111 miles per hour in 1.5 seconds. Just 0 to 111 in 1.5 seconds, which is just fucking stupid.
Like, how does the human body do that?
I don't know. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I want to try it. Speaking of Japan, you mentioned the international Disney parks. I'm totally with you there. Tokyo Disney Sea is easily the one that I want to do the most. Like that easily seems like the best international Disney park, but I definitely want to try to get to the other ones if I can. One other coaster that I want to just highlight that I would like to go on is the Smiler at Alton Towers in the United Kingdom. And the Smiler holds the record for the most inversions. It has 14 inversions in a very compact layout. It also has like a really cool like theming. It's like fucking creepy and has like this weird like, and Expedition Theme Park on YouTube did a really good video about the Smiler and its incredible theming. So if you're an idiot about theme parks like I am, totally do it. Check out that video, and that is a bucket list item coaster for me. Now there is supposed to be a record-breaking roller coaster opening in the States next summer by Gerstlauer, who I'm pretty sure manufactured the Smiler. So some people are predicting that it might be an inversion record, but nobody knows where the coaster is going to be yet. They haven't fully announced that as of recording this episode. So as soon as they announce that, I'll mention it somewhere.
Cool, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty. We gotta move on here. We have
gotta move on.
Our Yelp review.
Yelp review. Yelp review. Yeah.
Yelp. Alrighty. So.
Yelpity Yelp.
This Yelp review is actually tied to a former Yelp review, believe it or not. I found this and it mentions some things that we've already covered in our Yelp review. So keep your ear holes open for some familiar names. Okay.
Ooh. Oh shit.
This Yelp review is
a two-part Yelp review.
It is kind of a two-parter. This one's for.
That's a first.
It is a first. Sloppy Pops, one-stop shop for top bops and non-stop hops. Music store and dance studio in Normandy, Missouri. All right, here we go. I was traveling through Missouri to attend a loved one's funeral and stumbled upon Sloppy Pop's one-stop shop for top bops and non-stop hops, music store and dance studio. In need of some cheer, I figured a store with such a name could provide a little bit of happiness in my time of mourning. I was sorely mistaken, as all I found was a deeply disturbing collection of questionable and sad merchandise that leads one to think, who was allowed to open a store like this? As I entered the store, I noticed the dance studio was blocked off by crime scene tape with smeared blood all over the floor and some large blood-stained cracks in the mirror. I headed over to the music side of the store and began looking through their selection. I was hoping to find the new Taylor Swift album on vinyl since that shit is tight and I wanted to pretend that I live in the 1950s. Instead, all I found was a scary variety of stuff I would hardly consider music, like sheet music made from recycled caskets, torture music, hymns written by the criminally insane, and two frightening albums in their Sounds of Sleep section, interpretive instrumental music inspired by crime scenes, and Soothing Sleep, murder screams and spoken word eulogies. This was all I needed to see that there was nothing for me in the store.
Your sheet music written on caskets?
Made from recycled caskets.
Recycled caskets.
Do you care about the environment?
I mean, I do care about the environment. I just hear recycled. Was it a used casket?
Yes.
Did they dig it up or?
Yes.
Keep going.
It's 2021. Recycle, Tommy. I don't understand why you can't get on board here. All right. Like, seriously. This was all I needed to see that there was nothing for me in the store. So I left and sat at a local bar for a couple of drinks to kill some time before I needed to continue on my trip. As I was sitting, a news story came on the TV discussing a recent murder at a local music store and dance studio. More updates on the recent murder at the Sloppy Pops one-stop shop for top bops and non-stop hops music store and dance studio on Higginson Avenue in Normandy last Thursday. It has recently been discovered through security camera footage that the suspect is none other than Utah man Ralph Oldman, former singer of Dill Pickle punk band Crack Jones and the Skid Marks. Oldman entered the store. I know, I love his music. Oldman entered the store just before closing time Thursday night and began screaming, "I'm gonna get Mama's beans back," among other nonsensical exclamations. He then pulled a machete out of his pants and began waving the weapon around at patrons and employees, killing all but one person on site. One employee got away with only the tip of her finger severed, but she later died at the hospital after complications during surgery. Ralph then took off his shirt and soaked up the blood of several victims and began wiping it all over his body while rolling around on the floor and running headfirst into the mirrors on the wall. He then severed the heads of 2 victims and ran outside and attempted to perform a puppet show with the heads to concerned bystanders, who later claimed that the show was about 2 characters named Dr. Eyeball and Gushkenmauer, who were fighting about who gets to eat the last piece of sponge cake. Oldman then fled the scene and wasn't seen by anyone until his burnt remains were discovered in his Utah home after it appears he set fire to his own house and fell asleep in bed. More on this story later. Later that evening in my hotel, I was able to find the police report for this crime. It reads as follows. On the evening of Thursday, June 25th, 2016, one Ralph Oldman entered the Sloppy Pops one-stop shop for top bops and non-stop hops music store and dance studio located at 457 Higginson Avenue, Normandy, Missouri, armed with a machete, and proceeded to fatally injure 24 patrons and employees. Police arrived at the scene to 23 corpses scattered around the interior and exterior of the building. Body parts littered the area, including 2 severed heads in the street outside. We believe Mr. Oldman's motive for this crime has something to do with sightings of the suspect in the store before, trying to speak to women in the dance class and getting rejected consistently. Employees of the store also say Mr. Oldman purchased most of their supply of crime-related music, which we believe has inspired the crime committed. Upon tracking down Mr. Oldman, he was discovered in his Utah home deceased, having succumbed to fatal burns and apparently setting fire to his own home. I certainly do not recommend anyone visit this establishment unless you either want to be inspired to perform or be the victim of a deeply disturbing mass murder. Also, this place has a funny name. 1 out of 5 stars.
Huh. You know, I felt like 1 out of 5 stars was a little generous. Like maybe half of that.
I thought it was a little low.
Yeah, that was a little.
I mean,
it probably wasn't the store's fault that the murder happened to be.
No, you're gonna let a little murder, like close the store down or whatever.
You're right. No. I'm usually more progressive than that. I'm usually okay with murders when I go shopping for music.
You go to places like the south side of Chicago or whatever, and you're lucky if you don't go to Walmart without seeing some bodies laying around. Okay, so whatever. There's a lot of over entitled people out there that think that a little murder like this is gonna, diminish their experience, their shopping experience. But
what a fucking Karen!
I know, honestly, fucking Karens. What crazy to believe that by odd chance I was able to find another Yelp review that goes back to Ralph Oldman, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, neither was I. Well, we talked about roller coaster accidents and cheese and murders. This is a good episode, Tommy. How do you feel?
It was. I feel good. Wait, did the roller coaster accident? Did that might have been the audio that got cut off.
Oh.
That might have been the audio that got cut off. In case it was, so the Smiler the roller coaster that's on my bucket list with all the loops that's in Alton Towers. It had an unfortunate incident that involved, it was a ride operator error that involved a crashing of 2 trains with passengers on it. This happened a few years ago, and everything has been, aside from the people with permanent injuries and stuff, the ride has been operating safely since. And the video that I told you guys about by Expedition Theme Park that talks about the Smiler, its story, its theming, also does go over that incident as well. But that was the roller coaster crash in case it got cut out.
And another piece that got cut out was Tommy was actually on the coaster when it crashed, which is why he looks like that. So we want to thank everyone for listening to this episode. Actually, you got the outro, Tommy. Lay it on us.
All right. Well, thank you for well, thank you for listening to Two Useless Organisms, episode 2. We appreciate all you guys listening. Be sure to keep following us on the Facebooks and the wherever the hell we post on wherever the hell we're posting. Instagram, Two Useless Organisms. If you want to have any suggestions for any topics you want to hear us talk about, just make sure to message us on Instagram or Facebook, and we will take your suggestions, or even just comment wherever you can contact us. We see them all, and we'll take them. Bless your faces. Keep an eye out for Please Remain Seated for more theme park content.
Rate 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
Smash the subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Mm-hmm. And leave a comment below.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps her up. Thanks for listening, everyone. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Two useless organisms. Two useless organisms.
Plus her cat, I'm pretty sure, thinks I'm his dad, so.
Don't we all think you're our dad?